We have a third way of creating a dialog besides the alert dialog and the dialog fragment is we can build our own dialog using an XML layout. So here's an example. I created an XML layout file that contained a text view, an image view, another text view, and then 4 buttons, and displayed that here and coded the buttons so that we made a little multiple choice quiz. If I say Alaska, I get a snack bar that says the correct answer was Arizona B. I would get the same thing for Colorado, for New Mexico. However, if I choose the correct answer of Arizona, the snack bar says Arizona is correct. And I set that all up so that that data of that dialog could come from a array or a imported class database. We might use that dialog for several multiple choice questions where all we're doing is we're changing the question number, the image, the text view that asks the question, and then the 4 buttons as far as the text and which one is correct. That gives us a lot of flexibility. So let's look at how that was created. I created a new layout that I named Dialog Image Question XML. And there's my layout. So I have a text view, and I did this as a linear layout. So a text view at the top, and then a horizontal linear layout that contains my image view and another text view, and then the 4 buttons. And I gave these each names. So TV question number is the text view, IV image, TV question, and then my buttons are BTN-A, BTN-B, BTN-C, and BTN-D. Notice I just put the abbreviation of the state there, but when we saw it come up, it actually had the name of the state. So in the code, I am changing what is displayed in these 4 buttons. So that's the very simple process of creating a linear layout that you're already familiar with. The one thing I did do for the linear layout, and I'm not sure that this is critical, but I made it so that the height was wrap content. And you see it ends here rather than going all the way to the bottom. Then my main activity KT file. So here then is my function called BYO dialog 1. The view, of course, is going to be the button that was clicked. I'm creating a constant called myDialog, which equals a dialog object, and the context is this being my main class, my KT file. Then I'm going to take myDialog and build it out just like we did our alert dialog. So myDialog.setContentView is our.layout in the layout we just created of dialog underscore image underscore question. Creating a constant called body that I'm referencing as myDialog.findView.byId, and that's that TV question number text view at the top. I'm going to do the same thing with those 4 buttons, creating variables for those, BTN choice A, choice B, C, and D. Those are all referencing the buttons from that XML dialog. I have a class level variable up at the very top called QNum that equals 0. And the correct answer is also a class level variable, and I have it equaling, in this case, my correct answer is going to be B. My body text is going to be question plus qnum.toString, and then the text of my 4 buttons. Remember that I had them as AK, AZ, CO, and NM for the abbreviations. I actually want them to say the states themselves. So I'm changing the text dynamically of the buttons. I'm creating a correct string variable that by default it's going to say an error occurred in BYO dialog 1. That really shouldn't occur. But then taking a when structure on correct answer. Now correct answer here in this case was B, our second button. So my variable correct string is being updated for the correct button. So I want to be able to show in that feedback what was the correct button. So in this case, if correct button is B, then the correct string is going to equal the text of button choice B, which would be Arizona in this example. A variable called correct choice equals, and I'm going to put in parentheses around the correct answer. So it's going to be parenthesis B parenthesis. Correct feedback is sorry, the correct answer was, and I want to show the correct string, what was the text of the button that was correct, plus the correct choice, which is going to be the parenthesis B parenthesis. My feedback correct then is the correct string and the correct choice is correct. So we have an incorrect and a correct feedback. And then for the 4 buttons, I'm going to provide that feedback based on the correct answer of B. So if correct answer is A, we want to give feedback that's correct. Otherwise, we're going to give the incorrect feedback. If the choice B is what they clicked and if the correct answer is B, we'll give them positive feedback rather than the negative feedback in this case since it's correct. Same thing with C, same thing with D. The idea behind this is I can change which is the correct answer, change the text of the button. So I could do this all through a database where we're asking one question after another, and I don't have to change any of my code. This is going to work for any question, whether the correct answer is A, B, C, or D. And along the way, we would simply change the button text and we would change the question number, which would be automatically updated, maybe through a loop. And then finally, our mydialog.show. And so the result, once again, is we click the button, we get our XML dialog, and if I choose the correct answer, I get feedback that it's correct. However, if I choose any of the incorrect answers, I get feedback that the correct answer was Arizona button B. So 3 ways to create dialogues using an alert dialog and various options there, using a dialog fragment, which was the previous lesson, and then building your own dialog using an XML layout, which gives you a whole lot of flexibility. If you just jumped into this video, you can see all the videos from the Android App Development Cohort playlist by clicking on the image in the lower right. And if you'd like to be alerted to future videos that I create, you can click my picture up in the top right and subscribe to the channel.